Hey everyone, in this video we are going to talk about Flexbox, how to position elements side by side or next to each other, but we have a lot more to talk about in this video, so let's dive into the code. Okay, to get started we will have one div. It is like container. We give it the class name of container, that it wraps other elements. For me it is gonna be again div, so feel free to place other elements here as well. So we give it one class name of box and one box1 to differentiate between our divs. Div 2, 3 and 4, 3 and 4. So for our HTML it's all. Let's go to style.css to work on each. So first of all we target our box to give it a bit of width and height, maybe 100 or 200 pixel, and the height of 200 pixel. Now it is okay, but we also target our each box separately. So box 1 we give it the background color of maybe red, but we can change manually. Now we copy and paste the same class name for all our other boxes. Box 2, box 3 and box 4. Then we give it we change the color from here to differentiate. So yeah, we have our boxes here, but you see the text inside is not very visible. That you can give it the color of white, and you give it the font size of maybe 8 em. Yeah, it's all good. Or also you can text align it, but now we will talk about how to completely center our divs and our text inside it. So till now it is all from previous lessons that you give background color, I don't know, height and width, but now we target our container, the main div container, and now we give it the display of flex. We previously talked about display block inline, but in this video we are going to talk about display flex. So if you give display flex, you see everything changes. So our elements are now positioned side by side or next to each other. But with the display flex you will have other properties for the better controlment of the element. For example, we have flex direction. Flex direction by default it is row, but you can change it to column. So if you change it to column, now it is positioned horizontally or on the y-axis. We have other values for the flex direction as well. For example, you give it row reverse. What happens? Let's see. Now it starts from the right side. 1 comes here and 4 comes here at the left side. And also we have the same value for the column as well, column reverse. Now guess what? 1 will come at the bottom and 4, it starts from 4, so it is reverse. It is the vice versa of column and row. Let's back change it to row. Or if you do not give any value for the flex direction, suppose we completely remove it. Again, by default flex, the direction of flex is row. The next property we have for only display flex is justify content. Justify content, we have some values for this. For example, you can give it center, justify content center. Nothing happens because we do not have height and width for our container. If I make it clear for you, if I give it border of maybe 4 pixel solid and black, although the color is always by default black. Now you see this, our container is this much. It does not so if we give it justify content center, so nothing happens because it is already center. It is inside it. But if I increase my browser width, you see we have all these boxes at the center of our main div. I want to give it the height for my container as well, like maybe 90%, 90 of our viewport, so it will contain this much, to be very clear. So we had justify content center. So it is going to be placed center at the center of our div, which is widely used among web developer, because later on if you work on real projects, so you will need a lot to center your div. You can give other values like flex start. What it does is it places your elements at the start of your div. Or if you give it flex end, so now guess what, it goes at the other side of your div. If you increase your width, the width of your browser, so it is at the right side. We have another value for the justify content, that is space between. So if you give justify content space between, now we have space between each of them. So let's increase the width. We have the same space between the div 1 and div 2 and div 2 to div 3. So this space is the same for each of them. So you can achieve it by giving the value of space between. So you can give another value for the justify content, that is space around. Let's see the result. That will be clear for you. So now you see we have this much space at the left side and the right side as well. So for now let's give it justify content center. But how do we center our elements, our div? Horizontally, you give it the items, align items. Align items property takes some values like center. So if you give it center, it is now horizontally centered or in the cross axis according to height of our container. We have the same values for the align items as well. So you can give it flex start, which is the default. It starts from the beginning. Flex end, this is also very useful. The next property that we have is called gap, that gives extra space between elements. So if you give it the gap 20 pixel, now see we have that much space between our elements, which is again, it gives a very good design, very good style for your elements in your real projects. So it is very useful. So it was all about today's lesson. It was an introduction for the display flex that we will talk and apply it in more practical examples in the coming video. So feel free to ask any question that you have in the comment, and see you in the next video. Thank you.